It continues.
It-
I'm still trying to make Rich ooh.
You gotta be more sexy.
I put on a pair of sunglasses and I said, "What do you think?"
And I went, ooh.
So the journey for more oohs continues. Continues. Rich,
Yes, sir.
nice to see you. Thank you for coming to my house,
My pleasure.
my studio.
It's lovely as usual.
Thank you. The floors are freshly cleaned.
I have always noticed that your floors and your house is almost museum clean.
Museum clean.
Yeah,
meaning
or
very
hospital clean. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Rich, are you fired up?
I am ready to go. All cylinders working, bro.
Are you ready to ooh?
I am ready to give you so many oohs.
Because it is Tuesday. It's Tuesday, baby.
Tuesday all day.
And you know what that means.
It usually often means party time.
It's our special night.
It is
Our
for,
boys' night.
for over 10 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
For many years. And now one of our friends is
Right.
visiting Japan.
Yes, as he does every year.
Yep, our friend Young Tiger. Yes, our friend. We nickname him the Young Tiger.
Young Tiger, yeah. Because we met him, he was still a teenager.
Now he's all grown up.
He is all grown up.
It's been more than 10 years since we first met him.
Must be, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Now,
mm,
now he's a working man.
yes,
He's got a job. He works remotely.
yes.
I'm very jealous of his.
Yeah, remote stuff. Well, you could ostensibly work
Not
remote.
anymore because now I have a family.
Oh, yeah, forgot about that aspect.
But yeah, he goes and lives in South America.
Yeah, he's done that.
Like he was living in Argentina for a few months
That's cool.
just for fun.
Right.
Like why not?
Mm,
I work remotely.
right,
Why not?
right.
Argentina's like kind of the same time zone as America.
Yeah, you would assume, yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas
Whereas
at least
in-
not too far off.
Now he has to work until like 2 a.m.
Right, right. Japan is so far off.
Yeah, we're a completely different time zone.
Right.
But anyway, we're going to go and we're going to see young Taiga. He's all grown up. Our young
is.
little tiger pup.
He is. You know what surprised me about him, and I mean no disrespect, it's just like he's kind of filled out. He's not rail thin and super strong as he used to be.
Yeah, he used to be a skinny little boy,
Yeah.
and now he's a
little bit of a
little chubby,
little filling out.
but he's very strong.
Yes.
Yeah. What'd you call that? I was talking the other day about the word meaty.
Meaty, yeah.
He's kind of
bit
a meaty guy now. He's
Yeah.
got muscle and little
fat.
extra chub.
I like fill out. He's kind of filled out.
He's filled out.
Yeah.
Meaning like as he grew older, he grew thicker.
Right. Right.
His shoulders got wider and his legs and stuff
Yeah.
got thicker.
Right.
Put on muscle.
Right.
Yeah. He eats so much.
Does he?
Yeah.
I don't remember that, but
You know, that's the problem, I think, with most young men.
yeah.
It's that when you're young, in your early 20s especially, you get into the habit of just eating until you're completely full.
Yes.
And it's almost like you don't feel satisfied unless you eat.
Cram it in there.
Yeah, you eat like until you're completely full.
Right.
But, you know, as you get older, you realize like that's too much.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like when I was 30, I just realized I can't eat as much. And I think since I was about 40, I kind of stopped eating so much carbohydrates.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think in the last 3, 4, 5 years, kind of because of you,
You tried intermittent fasting too, right?
Yeah. And or I just think more like last night I had that heavy pasta or something, so I might skip breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll be really hungry for lunch. And then I'll just have a small lunch on purpose to challenge my body. Like I don't have to satiate every time I'm hungry. You know what I'm saying?
Be satisfied.
Right.
Yeah, you don't need to eat as
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. I don't have to eat just because I'm hungry. I'll wait. Like wait 3 hours.
Yeah.
You're not going to die.
Endure the hunger.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. You get used to it.
You do get used to it. I mean, right now it's 12:30.
Right.
The last time I ate something was last night at
Okay.
11 p.m.
Good for you.
I ate some chocolate and some fucking cookies.
Ooh.
I was a dirty little night muncher.
Bad boy.
Munching on snacks. Oh,
Naughty.
I always regret it. But in the moment, it feels so good. It's easy for me to not eat.
Right.
But then once I start,
Yeah, you can't
I
stop.
just go nuts. So I just control the times when I eat.
I also, at work, almost always only eat half the rice when I buy a little bento thing.
Okay. So you try to cut down on carbs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Smart idea, Rich. And our friend, young Taiga, he's getting a little chubby.
Last time I saw him last year. Yep.
Last year, yeah, he's actually looks a little more slim compared to last year.
Oh, okay.
Last year he was really chubby.
Yeah, he looked big.
Yeah.
I mean, like, not muscle big.
He was. Yeah, he had a belly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a tiger
He
belly.
had a tiger belly.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm sure soon he's going to have to think about, rethink about how
Right.
he eats.
Right.
Yeah, it's something I think, especially men.
Yeah.
We get into the habit. We don't care at all when
Right.
we're young, and we
Right.
just eat as much as we want.
Yeah. You let yourself go.
You can't do it forever.
No.
No.
Especially as you age, you're probably sitting in a chair more and more instead of walking, exercising, riding your bike.
That's
whatever.
another thing,
Right.
as we call it, a sedentary
Yes.
lifestyle,
Yes.
where you're not active.
Right.
You're sitting down for most of the day.
Right.
Yeah.
During my lunch break, I always walk around. I think that helps me a lot.
Tell you what, Rich, do you want to get crazy right now?
I love getting crazy,
Are you
bro.
tired of sitting down? Are you worried?
Do you want to take this podcast standing up, bro?
3, 2, 1.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
shit.
We're totally going to stand.
My desk is becoming a standing desk.
Oh my God.
One push of a button, Rich.
It's all it took, man.
You're
All
going
it
to
took.
have to
Yeah, I'm going to have to
pull the
readjust it.
microphone higher.
Okay. Yeah, now we're standing.
Now we're
This
standing.
is amazing.
Woo, the energy is
Freaking
so
like
different.
dance.
Yeah.
Ooh, I see the blood flowing.
This is the first time I've done a podcast standing up.
That's right. It's refreshing.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I needed to stretch my legs.
Yeah.
This is a great idea.
Blood flowing. I love it.
Anyway, we're going to finish the podcast standing up
I love it. I love it. Like gentlemen.
like gentlemen. We're going to move on because
If you've got a question, don't be shy. 'Cause Abe and Rich are real nice guys.
don't hold back.
If you've got a question, don't hold back. 'Cause Rich and Abe will answer that.
All right.
Nice.
We are standing.
We are standing. It feels nice.
Yeah, it's a whole different feeling.
All right.
Anyway, we've got a question. This comes from Instagram,
Okay.
and it's from a listener named Mickey.
Mickey. All right.
Oh, Mickey, I believe, is a businesswoman.
Ooh. I can't. It's just natural for me.
I know. I love it. I love it. It's my favorite thing. Hear that, Mickey? You got an ooh right away.
Straight at you.
Yeah. Now, I guess her company has relationships with foreign companies.
Mm-hmm.
And she said they have like a kind of a client coming from Scotland.
Ooh.
Oh,
That was
a
more
whole
tough.
different
That-
kind.
Yeah, that was the tough ooh.
Yeah. Because the Scottish accent,
A little bit hard, a little bit of a challenge.
yeah, it's one of the hardest accents. I mean, depending on the person.
Sure.
But Scottish people are known to have like really thick,
Yeah.
difficult to understand accents.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, she says he's about 60
Okay.
and he's been coming to Japan for more than 30 years
All right, that's a
doing business in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is she's the only one in her company who speaks English.
All right, tricky.
Yeah. So like during the business trip, they've got to take the train together and they have at least one dinner together. I think probably not just her, but
Right. But
him and her and maybe some other company people. And she says that she always struggles to make conversation, make small talk. And I guess it's tough because she's the only one who speaks English.
Sure. That's
So
always
it's-
a tough situation.
Yeah.
For sure.
So even though there's like a huge generation gap,
Right.
like he's 60 and it sounds like she's quite young because she says,
He's really
well, she says, I rarely talk with such an old person.
Oof.
So she doesn't talk with 60-year-olds
Right.
very often, and she struggles to find conversation topics.
Always a situation I find myself in living in Japan.
Yeah, being a conversation English teacher,
Yeah.
you have to make
Yeah.
conversation all the time.
Right.
All right, so let me give my advice.
Would love to hear your advice.
Yeah. He's been doing business in Japan for 30 years.
Long time.
Yeah. Now, I imagine like 30 years ago, this guy was like 30 years old because now he's around 60.
Right.
That's when he started doing business trips in Japan.
Right.
I bet he's got some wild stories
Sure.
about Roppongi
Right.
and the old days.
Sure. Yeah.
I bet he was wined and dined.
I'm sure he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd want to, he's an older guy. Like, if I was her, I would ask him about his experiences
Right.
in Japan way back then.
Right.
you
Right.
know?
That's a good idea. I mean, that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
That's like
now,
pre-cell phone kind
it
of.
might be difficult
Yeah.
for him
Yeah.
to tell her the truth.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
He might have been in the strip club.
Uh-oh.
So maybe you need to slowly
Yes.
get the truth out of
Warm
him.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was it like? How was your first time in
Right.
Japan? Oh, did you ever go to Roppongi?
Ooh.
Ah.
Hey, hey.
Back then, she could say, back then, everyone used to go to strip clubs.
Right.
And then he'd be like, oh, wow, not me.
Taking out his handkerchief, dabbing his forehead.
Yeah, starting to sweat. Oh, no, that's okay.
Right. You might want to wait for like the third drink to ask that question.
Yeah, but I mean, if he's been coming to Japan for 30 years.
He's got to have some stories.
Yeah, and you can ask him about, where do you like in Japan? Where have you been?
Sure.
Is it always business or have you ever brought
Right.
your family
Right.
here? Have
Right.
you ever been a tourist?
Right. Right.
I can think of a lot of topics.
Sometimes I also like the question of like, what don't you like?
Oh,
I mean, I don't want to focus on negative. So sometimes I go like, I like this about Sendai. I don't like this about Sendai. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, maybe you want to be careful about your wording.
Yeah,
how
no,
you word it.
definitely. Definitely.
you don't want to make it uncomfortable now,
Sure.
but you can ask 30 years ago
Yeah.
when you came to
Yeah,
Japan.
what's changed, and is it a good change or a bad change?
What was the most challenging thing about doing business in Japan?
Right.
Or you could ask about the past because he has such a long history.
Right.
Yeah. And with old guys, sometimes the best way is to just let them tell a story.
Right.
Because I'm sure he has lots of stories.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. That's good advice.
And then she's probably translating for the other coworkers.
Right.
And maybe she could just kind of rely on being the translator instead of having to make all the conversation.
Right. Like maybe the other people will start commenting or
Hopefully.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. What else would you do if there's a 60-year-old man that you have to make conversation with?
Well, I'm going to take just a slightly different approach and focus more on maybe when they're, just both of them on a train, in a taxi. And this is my approach to most
Put your hand
conversation.
on his lap, start rubbing his leg.
I would say something about myself to see if he's interested in me. You know what I'm saying? Like, just talk about something you enjoy, so
right.
he has the opportunity
Yeah.
to ask you questions.
If you
right?
want him to open up and tell you about the wild strip clubs in
say something
Roppongi
about yourself.
20 or 30 years ago,
Sure.
you have to, give him
Right.
a little bit of,
Like it's a safe topic.
yeah.
When I was in university, I didn't only Hodai.
Be genuine.
3 times a week, and I got so whatever, something like that.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, like be genuine.
Maybe tell him a funny story about yourself.
Right.
To make him feel comfortable.
Right.
And then you can get the wild stories from him.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I guess being genuine is important, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can't expect someone to share many things with you
If you don't.
if you don't share something with them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's usually how I view conversation.
Mm-hmm. Like maybe instead of just asking a question,
Right.
say something about yourself
Right.
and then ask a related question.
Right.
I went to university in Kyoto. Have you ever been to Kyoto?
Right. Like set up the situation.
Yeah.
Right.
Give a little bit about yourself and then ask a related question.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I like doing that. It's just my way.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Yeah, it's a great question.
Yeah, I hope the business trip goes smoothly.
Yeah.
Tell us
Yeah.
afterwards.
Write a report.
Yeah. Try to get the wild stories from him and then tell us what his wild stories are.
We would love to know.
We'll keep it a secret.
Yes.
I promise.
Yes. Ooh.
But anyway, we can give you lots of advice, but it doesn't matter because he's from Scotland, so you probably won't understand anything he says.
Don't end on a negative
Well,
note.
so my advice is just smile and say, really?
Right. Oh, he's a seasoned traveler.
Yeah,
If he's come here for 30 years, he knows.
He probably knows how to speak clearly.
Right.
Yeah, for people to understand him.
And he knows the way. So.
Yeah. Well, good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
And please give us a report afterwards.
Right.
All right, Rich, I guess we're going to wrap it up.
Wrap it up standing up.
Yep. We're standing. We're ready to go. We're ready to party tonight. The boys are back in town.
Boys are back in town. Ooh. Contagious.
All
Contagious.
right, guys, come to 55freebird.com. Come to Instagram or X. Leave us a question or a comment or just say hello. And please come to Apple Podcasts. Leave a 5-star review and write a little something too. That would be really nice. You can also comment on each episode on Spotify. And by the way, you can look at the transcripts. Both Spotify and Apple Podcasts have full transcripts of our show. And because we do it all in English, the transcripts are 99.8% accurate. They're very, very accurate. So check that out. All right, Rich, say goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for listening.